ஏய் ஸ்க்ரீனை ஓப்பனில் வச்சுருக்காங்க, அவ்வளோ மக்கள் வருவாங்களா?
ஹலோ
ஸ்க்ரீன்
ஹலோ
யார் இப்போ ஓப்பன் பண்ணா?
தெரியாது மேம்.
வரலன்னா அசிங்கமாக இருக்கும். ஏன் வந்தாங்கன்னா திறந்துக்கலாம். க்ளோஸ்லேயே வைங்க. அப்போ நீங்கள் வர்றாங்க, கூட்டம் அதிகமாகுதுன்னா திறந்துக்கோங்க.
1 2 ஆஃப் 1 2 ஆஃப் மியூட் மியூட்.
ஹலோ ஹலோ
Good afternoon. We welcome one and all to the Professor Y. NAYUDAMMA lecture for the year 2024 to be delivered by our Director General CSIR, Dr. N. Kalaiselvi Madam, on the topic Turning Trash to Treasure, CSIR's Trailblazing Journey in Waste to Wealth. May I request Madam and our Director, Dr. K.J. Sriram, to grace the dais and pay floral tribute to the portrait of Professor Y. NAYUDAMMA, please. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, sir. May I request our Director, Dr. K.J. Sriram, to present a fruit basket to Madam, please, and welcome her. Thank you. May I request our Director, Dr. K.J. Sriram, to welcome the audience, please.
Very good afternoon to one and all present here. The NAYUDAMMA lecture, which generally precedes the inauguration of Leather Research Industry Get-Together, essentially because this was a phenomenon which was developed by him in the name of Tanners Get-Together. The whole idea was that in that 2 or 3 days in those days, that tanners would come to CLRI. There would be discussions on what research CLRI should do, and then they will all proceed to the tannery in CLRI, where new technologies would be demonstrated, and the technology will go on. So from those days in 60s, when Dr. Tyagarajan came up, it became more professional in character, and it was then called as the Leather Research Industry Get-Together. Almost the same phenomena, but we also started bringing in people from abroad, and those lectures were kind of beneficial for both the institute and to the industry. In 2021, we changed the name a little bit. We shifted from Get-Together to Leather Research Industry Government Conclaves. The whole idea being that R&D cannot stand alone. It has to be supported by the policy, and therefore the government part of LRIG as well. LRIG was always around the 27th, 28th of January, so that people would attend LRIG and then go to the leather fair. But as the fair grew, of course in Dr. NAYUDAMMA's times, the fair was in CLRI itself. But as the fair grew and businesses dependent on the fair became bigger, we had problems of getting people to come for the LRIG. So we decided that LRIG will move out from the fair time to at times when it's most comfortable for the industry. And we also had to hear to the clusters in Kanpur, Kolkata, etc., which asked us, why are you only in Chennai? So from 2021 onwards, we started moving LRIG around the country. We first went to Kanpur. In 22, 23, we went to Kolkata. 24, we came back, now here in Chennai. It was like a drawing of lots. But as I was just mentioning to Madam in the afternoon, this time we decided we will not do the lots because we want to purposefully go to Jalandhar also. So that's the whole reason that 25 will go to Jalandhar for having the LRIG there. But in all these things, what was always constant has been the NAYUDAMMA lecture. Delivered by a person of eminence, either from the academy or the research or from the industry, talking about the latest trends in areas of very high importance to the country as a whole. Always keeping in mind for what Dr. NAYUDAMMA stood for. Dr. NAYUDAMMA stood for society, he stood for the cottage industries, and he looked at the overall development of the country. So this is the very essence of this lecture. And when I approached Madam for giving this lecture, I immediately got a reply from her secretariat that Madam is out of country during this time. But what happened within the next 3-4 days was that Madam's trip to abroad got postponed. So when I met her in Mysore, I asked her, ma'am, can you still come to Chennai? And she readily agreed with the conditionality that I will come on 7th so that 8th and 9th I can go to other labs, which is in Taramani and to Karekudi, because Mighty Secretary is also coming. Yesterday evening, when she called me, I was almost thinking that, okay, her program is getting cancelled. That's why she's calling me around the evening. But I must say that Madam kept to her commitments. She has come here today to deliver this lecture, is going back to Delhi tomorrow, to go back to Karekudi again on Saturday. So for that, I am extremely thankful to you, ma'am, that you are here physically to deliver the NAYUDAMMA lecture. It's been I have no words to express the thanks, because I know the kind of schedules that she has and what kind of pressure it puts onto a person when you are constantly traveling. So for that, this institute remains indebted. Extremely thankful to you for this opportunity that you have given us. Her visit also helped us to have a small meeting with the industry today afternoon. And Madam was there with the industry leaders for about an hour. And we did exchange some ideas, and Madam was more than happy to give an enabling hand for the leather sector of the future. So with these few words, I welcome my DG CSIR to deliver the NAYUDAMMA lecture, and also thank all of you from the industry, the institute, and elsewhere for your presence here. After this lecture, we have one more session of lyric, which is on the missionary, and I hope all of you would continue to be there, because that's a very, very important session as far as the country and the sector is concerned. Thank you very much, and let's hope that we have a wonderful lecture.
Sure, madam. May I request Dr. Shakila Shobna to introduce the speaker of the day, please.
It's my privilege to introduce the speaker of Professor Y. NAYUDAMMA Lecture 2024. Dr. N. Kalaiselvi is presently the Secretary, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research and Director General, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Dr. Kalaiselvi is the first Women Director General of CSIR. Dr. Kalaiselvi's research work of more than 25 years is primarily focused on electrochemical power systems and, in particular, development of electrode materials, custom-designed synthesis methods, optimization of reaction parameters, and electrochemical evaluation of in-house prepared electrode materials for their suitability in energy storage device assembly. Her research interests include lithium and beyond lithium batteries, supercapacitors, and waste-to-wealth-driven electrodes and electrolytes for energy storage and electrocatalytic applications. Dr. Kalaiselvi has more than 135 research papers and 6 patents to her credit. Under her guidance, 13 research scholars have received PhD degrees, and 1 researcher is currently pursuing their PhD. She is a recipient of many prestigious awards, including MRSI Medal, CSIR Raman Research Fellowship, INSA NRF Exchange Award, Brainpool Fellowship of Korea, the Most Inspiring Women Scientist Award, C.V. Raman Mahila Vijnana Puraskara, APJ Award 2024, Tamil Thiru Award, Tamilan Award for Innovation in Science and Technology 2022. She has been awarded honorary doctorate degree by Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Noida. So with these few words, I introduce her to present her lecture. Yeah.
Namaskar, Vanakkam, and pleasant afternoon to each and every one of you. I'm extremely happy for a number of things because as rightly told by Dr. Sriram, when he first asked for, ma'am, can you be there for NAYUDAMMA lecture, my first answer was no. And actually it is becoming that way. Wherever I say immediately, yes, I'm not able to go, wherever I'm telling no, I myself will call them and I will say, yeah, I'm coming. So it's happening to CLRI also. So my abroad trip got postponed, and therefore then the moment these people, they came to know during this Mysore conference, and at least 3-4 directors, they said, ma'am, then can you just come to our lab? How can I say no? Because it is an open secret that I'm not going abroad now. Therefore I have to say yes. Therefore I said yes. But happily I agreed. But what happened is, again, like the way he told, then I had a plan of having 3 different meetings, visiting 3 institutes in 2 days, and I have to have as many meetings as possible. Ambitiously I planned, and then I roped in the secretary matey also. So everything was intact till yesterday evening, 7:30. But again, both of us, we had another information that both of us should be there in Delhi by tomorrow for a very important meeting. And therefore, then I decided, anyway, I have given a word to him, 1 no and 1 yes. Therefore, 1 more no will not be looking good. Therefore, I thought that yes, I'm going, and therefore I'm here. Thank you so very much. Constantly, he has been also following it up. Now, coming to this very important lecture, I'll come to this lecture part after 1 minute. It's a great, great experience I'm having, especially today, because more than lunch, the kind of interactions I had with all the leaders from the industry side, it is very, very overwhelming, and it is very, very encouraging and motivating. And 2 of them at least, they were telling very, very unconditionally, they were telling, on their own they were telling, because it was not a choreographed or a rehearsed statement. They said from the bottom of their heart that this is one particular laboratory wherein the industry connect is very, very appreciable, and it is beyond imagination, not only in the recent times, but also for several decades, and in the recent times, it has taken a totally different shape also, for which I should definitely appreciate the director, Dr. Sriram, as well as each and every one of you who are the family members of CLRI, because without your support, this kind of a gesture could not be shown and demonstrated by Dr. Sriram, and therefore, I'm very, very thankful to each and every one of you, because getting such kind of an appreciable word from an industry, from the industry leaders, those who worked with you, those who have been working with you, those who have decided to work with you in the coming times, it is a great, great opportunity. And I was thrilled and excited to know the kind of a legacy with which the industry leaders are also working with CLRI. Somebody is casually telling, I'm working with CLRI for 6 decades. Somebody was telling, I am working with CSIR for 48 years. Somebody was telling 52 years. It is unbelievable for me. Meaning is, when we are talking about sustainability, and with the changing landscape of technologies, fast changing technology landscapes, still industries are traveling with you, and they want to be with you, they want to be intact with CLRI. That is a great, great, I would say, coincidence, and therefore, I think the contribution from both the ends are mutually satisfying each other. So winning over the confidence of industry is not an easy job, or it is not an easy joke, which I know. So once you win over the confidence of industries, now you have to maintain the relationship. So this institute is very good in maintaining the relationship, and I look forward this relationship should also continue in the coming decades, for which these leaders, they made me to understand what are the areas which are to be prioritized. So before I go into this topic, I want to tell each and every one of you, in this 1 hour it has been decided that minimum 2 verticals or 2 different areas in which this laboratory you have to prioritize your research. Number 1 is materials which are required for this leather sector. Meaning is the materials which are being used, which are in use as on date, wherever you have lot of or unassuming import dependence, it has to be addressed. That is point number 1. Meaning is, I already asked them that you please give us the list of critical materials or the compounds or the polymers, so which you are really spending, meaning is country is spending so much of money, our country is having dependence on other countries. Can you give me the list of these materials? So they have agreed upon. So once that list is obtained, I think this laboratory has to prioritize that particular list. And I have already told you, Director, that this list has to be shared with the chemicals team, and it should be prioritized in the upcoming FTT new tranche. So FTT 5th tranche is going on. So next year we'll be coming up with the 6th tranche. So in the 6th tranche of FTT, these molecules or these materials or these compounds or these polymers, they should be thrown as a challenge, and accordingly proposals will be invited from all the laboratories, and you will be finding an opportunity to work with all the laboratories. So this is number one, is materials. Second one is the machineries that are involved in this leather industry. There also I am given to understand that the kind of your dependence on imported machinery is just beyond imagination. So we are not at all having anything and everything produced in India, and for everything we are depending upon other countries. Therefore, this is the time, because I do not know how many of you are aware, CSIR is introducing one new mission called Indigenous Manufacturing Mission. The lead lab is CSIR-CLRI Durgapur. So Naresh Chandra Murmu, the director, is the mission director. So I already informed Dr. Sriram that he has to talk with Naresh Chandra Murmu also, and now they have to come up with a new vertical for this leather sector. Because they have identified few sectors. For medical equipments, they have already framed one vertical, and for chemical sector, they have made another vertical. So like they have already made ready 2-3 verticals, and they already finished their proposal also. But it's not at all too late to get yourself included, and therefore come up with a new vertical for your leather sector, and you find out what are the important machineries and the equipments which are to be indigenized in the near future. You may not be able to do the complete end-to-end machine making in India within next 2 years or 3 years. However, the critical components, the very important components that could be indigenized, and therefore you have to identify what are those critical components, what are those machineries for which these critical components will be finding their application, and how much is the market potential, and what is the volume at which the country requires, and what is the kind of import substitution, the benefits that this country will get out of this. So if you are able to make your plan in this particular manner, I think you will be able to do justice not only to your institute, the existence of your institute, or the success story of your institute, or the legacy of your institute, but also you will stay relevant to the society, and more importantly, the leather industry also. And therefore, so my CLRI family members, I'm now placing these 2 points as an appeal from my end, because already I have agreed upon with the industries that definitely CLRI will take up these points very seriously in mind, and we will start working in this direction. We will plan in this direction, and my team will also support these industries, because for both of us, the common target is reaching out to the society. And therefore, materials is one, critical materials, the other one is critical components. Okay? So these are the 2 points. Now let's enter into this one. That is, why NAYUDAMMA? Actually, why is the initial? But I am talking about WHY, why NAYUDAMMA Memorial Lecture. So very nicely, Sriram has explained to what extent Dr. NAYUDAMMA was not only with the activities of CSIR-CLRI, but also as the DG of CSIR. So I had a quick chat with our Dr. Chandru, so your former director. So he made me to understand, and he gave me another quick understanding also, that around 13 to 14 years Dr. NAYUDAMMA was here. He spent his time in leadership position in this institute, and thereafter 6 years in CSIR as DG, and therefore 2 decades, a visionary leader has given all the thought process and all the ideas and all the visionary ideas, I would say, to CSIR, and therefore this lab should definitely thank, and this is the right way of honoring Dr. NAYUDAMMA. And every year LERIC conference, and he beautifully connected. G once upon a time stood for get together, now G stands for government, and it is becoming a conclave. And these days, having the conclave in only one place, it's becoming a boring event, and therefore LERIC has decided to travel to different places so that they can also see new face, They can get introduced themselves to other new places, their exposure. They can also understand, the learning curve will also get strengthened. I think all these changes are welcome changes. And I wish this kind of a LERIC conference a grand success in the coming years also. Now coming to the very important thing, why this particular topic? I will tell you there are two reasons. Number one is I have been given to understand, and I have been told by many other visionary leaders that during the time of Dr. NAYUDAMMA, all the time he was worried about the sustainability and the circular economy and the waste to wealth related technologies also in those days itself. Now country is talking about circular economy, sustainable development, all those buzzwords are becoming very, very popular these days. But Dr. NAYUDAMMA, this is the speciality of special leaders and visionary leaders. In those days, he was bold enough, strong enough, dared to think about this kind of importance of technologies under sustainability. Therefore, I thought that in CSIR, we are having number of laboratories working under waste to wealth. There is one mission, ongoing mission, I do not know how many of you are aware, whether this laboratory is also a part of that W2W, meaning is waste to wealth, I have no idea. But that waste to wealth mission is ongoing in CSIR. And in my opinion, next to Aroma mission, because Aroma mission, because of number of reasons, Aroma mission is very, very popular. Number one is it has created purple revolution, because we are proudly telling everywhere, next to white revolution, green revolution and blue revolution, CSIR is introducing a purple revolution. It is just because of our revolutionary, I would say, initiatives that are happening in Jammu. And we should thank really, really, very magnanimously the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, because Aroma mission is his close to heart activity. In his every meetings, in as many forums as possible, the Honorable Minister used to make a mention about Aroma mission, and a person and a local person who is actually there in Jammu, living in Jammu, he comes out and he introduces himself as he is the lavender guy. He is a purple guy. He says, my name is a purple guy. I'm the CSIR purple guy. Why? Because he got benefits to that extent, and therefore Aroma mission has given us a lot of visibility. Today more than 1,000 agri startups are there. Last year even Republic Day parade also we had our CSIR tableau, mainly because of this Aroma mission. So next to Aroma mission, we have floriculture mission and other missions which are of similar to Aroma mission. I would say lot many technologies, the technologies that are making global impact today from CSIR, it is coming only from waste to wealth mission. It is not only one, I would say 2 or 3 technology leads of waste to wealth mission. It is getting appreciated not only in India, but also in other countries also. We have received global acceptance, global appreciation, and globally it is going to be implemented also. Therefore, I thought that today I should talk about this turning trash to treasure, because waste to wealth is CSIR language. So I just changed it like this, how this trash can be turned into a treasure. So that is what I'm going to talk today. This one? So far we were talking about NAYUDAMMA. So I said 2 reasons. Number one is that one, so I have chosen. The second reason I will not tell you now. My last slide will tell you why I have taken this particular topic for this NAYUDAMMA lecture. So that is the last slide. So NAYUDAMMA again. So you can very easily see that it is the legacy. So waste to wealth technologies, it is just because of NAYUDAMMA's very important belief in utilizing resources sustainably. So this wastage could be avoided, or how the waste could be converted into a very, very useful product is the concept. And therefore I thought that I should just share the glimpses of waste to wealth mission that is going on in CSIR. So if you just see here, so this is the glimpses of this one. We have different verticals. One is biomass recycling. So that is 2 products. Biomass itself we have 2. One is biomass is getting recycled to convert it into a product. The other one is biomass recycling is used to create energy by means of CSIR technologies. So the first one is parali into tiles and boards. So why Kalaiselvi is coughing? It is because of the pollution in Delhi. So the Delhi pollution is mainly because of parali, and how best this parali burning could be brought under control, and therefore this parali should be given a kind of a different product, and now parali waste is getting converted into tiles as well as boards. So CSIR-CLRI is doing this great work, and their work is also getting appreciated in very many forums, and across the country they have number of licenses as on date. Second one is converting fruit, plant and cactus to vegan leather or leather-like material. So now this is becoming a fashion statement. Once upon a time, leather was considered as a very prestigious, or I would say it's a costly, and it was considered as a status quo or is the standard of living. It was related to many things, but now leather is becoming a fashion statement. So whether it is only leather, sometimes we say that leather and leather-like. These days sometimes we say, I eat meat, not Kalaiselvi, I'm giving this as an example. I eat meat, sometimes I eat meat-like food. Sometimes I take millets, sometimes I take millet-like grains. So everywhere this like is now getting a lot of likes. So that is where here also it is vegan or leather-like material is becoming the fashion statement. And I should first thank the entire society, I should say, because without the acceptance from the society, any change, any cultural change, any market-driven change, or I would say any acceptance cannot happen, and therefore now the society has generously accepted this leather-like material is the fashion statement, and therefore it is in your favor. Earlier you had only one cap, which is leather. Now you can think about leather as well as leather-like material. And to support you now, one more laboratory, again from the south, NIST Thiruvananthapuram is also coming up with number of technologies, starting from banana, pineapple, or mango peel, or even cactus. Now after this cactus-based vegan-like material is becoming very fashionable thing, now other people, 2-3 MPs from other states, they started writing, ma'am, can you ask CSIR people to come and help us to come up with the cactus garden? Can you help us in getting this cactus cultivation in our state? So different states, the honorable member of parliaments, they are writing to CSIR these days. So this is where we all should feel very proud. So they are thinking that, because now we are not only doing only cactus-based vegan-like material or leather-like material, we are now helping them to come up with even cactus garden. So cactus garden, then how best this cactus could be harvested and it could be converted into a very useful product. So that is happening in this one. And second one is biomass recycling to energy used cooked oil. I think you may be knowing IIP Dehradun, this lab is very, very popular for this particular thing. Sustainable aviation fuel. In this year 2024, Republic Day parade, that time you would have seen 2 fly-past drone-air aircrafts. Both the drone-air aircrafts, fly-past aircrafts, they were powered by only SAF, sustainable aviation fuel, which is prepared by CSIR IIP Dehradun only. So this IIP Dehradun technology, it is not new as on date, but now they are coming up with number of value-added, efficiency improved, and also the yield improved. Too many protocols are now coming in, and if you just see the sustainable aviation fuel which is used in the fly-past aircraft, the raw material is nothing but used cooked oil. We all know that oil should not be used repeatedly, but how many times you tell also, people may not accept, people may not understand, they will not come forward on their own to just come back and give the oil. Therefore, this IIP, they have made it as a movement in such a manner. They have now they have designed one vehicle, so they just go door to door. They collect the used cooked oil from the housewife, and then they with the collected oil, they started developing this technology. Now they are even trying to impress upon big bakeries, and also some also making Bikaner. All these people now, they are trying to win over their confidence but we are not able to be completely successful for a number of reasons. But now we are talking to the government and we are asking the government of India also to think about two things. Number one is, how best collection could be made as a process, and it's how the SOP could be finalized. So a policy should be derived, that is SOP for cooked oil collection. This is number one. Second one is collection booths. Where and all we can have collection booths, who can do the oil collection, and how best the collected oil will reach a place where it could be processed and it should be converted into sustainable aviation fuel. Because sustainable aviation fuel is a very great area. Now we have gone up to 15%, 20%, 25% blending. But if at all we are able to increase the blending ratio to 30 and 40, I think the requirement is so huge. But even the raw material, meaning is the used cooked oil, it is not available even as on date. And therefore, this is the time where we require SOP for collection and collection booths also. So soon country will be coming up with a kind of a policy guidelines for SOP as well as for collection booths. Then this used cooked oil to this one. This is going to be very, very popular. The next one is converting vegetable waste into cooking gas. I think most of you may be knowing IICT. They're coming up with the AGR technology. So this AGR technology is now being followed in big marketplace, vegetable market itself. So this Bovenpalli market of Hyderabad. So those who are able to travel to Hyderabad, you please visit this Bovenpalli market, where two young ladies are just following CSIR-IICT's technology, which is AGR technology. The used vegetables, the vegetable waste, or I won't say used vegetable, the vegetable market waste, the unsold one, or the peeled off vegetable part. All these wastes are getting collected towards the end of the day. Few ladies, I myself went and I saw. So two ladies, they came down from the United States of America and they were hunting for some job. They were trying to identify some very meaningful, successful technologies, and they have identified CSIR-IICT's this AGR technology. Now they are making a lot of money. More than money, they are becoming more popular these days, and they are able to do justice. Now in this Bovenpalli market, in the canteen, they stopped purchasing any cooking gas cylinders. They use only the particular gas that is getting produced in that particular campus. So they have already stopped, and even without even bottling, now the gas supply is happening through the pipeline, and therefore from that unit through pipeline gas connection is going, and this every day you can go and see, and it is the day-to-day proven and demonstrated technology of CSIR-IICT. And coming to e-waste recycling, I need not say because everything is now E. So our life is becoming inseparable with the e-gadgets. So I always used to say, I also used to ask my students, how many of you are having only one mobile phone? I used to ask. Because one mobile phone means you are definitely 40 plus, your age is 40 plus or 50 plus. So if at all you have more than one phone only, you can say that you have not yet reached the stage of employment. Either you are a student or you are searching for a job. And age, because e-gadgets, our addiction is going more and more. It is not only mobile phone, whether it is a laptop or any kind of, even the camera, whatever you use. I need not say the number of gadgets. All the e-gadgets, there are two things. Number one is the metals that are involved in that. Second one is the magnets that are involved in that. So if you just take only the metal value, mainly the transition metals and the rare earth metals are involved in these e-gadgets. So in the transition metal, definitely it is cobalt, nickel and manganese, and some very rarely other metals are there, and therefore whether it is a first row transition or second row transition metal or the rare earth metals, definitely you have to do recycling. So we are having this e-waste recycling. 3 laboratories are working: CSIR-NML, CSIR-IMMT, Bhubaneswar, and the CSIR-CLRI. So these are the 3 laboratories working on this e-waste recycling. Plastic recycling is again another very important thing. So negiriye olipom. So everywhere you can see in Tamil Nadu. So say no to plastics, say no to single-use plastics. So all these slogans are there. Therefore, what is a kind of a product that could be really thought of from this plastic waste? So one is automatic plastic waste sorting system. Why this sorting system I have given is, already this IIP has come up with a kind of a technology wherein they just collected all the plastic, and the plastic is converted into diesel. But they came up with one kind of a problem. The problem is not that every time they had the same yield, not that they had consistency also in that diesel. So they were deeply worried to how to ensure consistency and how to ensure the yield also, same yield. So the reversibility was the issue. Then they understood that the plastic sorting is very, very important, whether it is PP and PE, and what is the percentage of PP and PE that decides the reproducibility of the diesel. And therefore, here actually CSIR-CLRI comes into picture, CSIR-CLRI Pilani. They came up with a kind of one particular methodology, and with that particular small machine, now we are able to sort out the plastics, and therefore the ideally required plastic alone is now segregated, and if you use that plastic, then your efficiency is more, and also the diesel quality is also more, and you can use it as a fuel directly. And the last one is very important, plastic to algae to methanol. This is NAYUDAMMA, that is NAYUDAMMA Goa. So what they have identified is, even in the marine ecosystem, there are some algae which are able to convert CO2 by means of which the growth factor is increasing. It is nothing but CO2 enhanced growth factor of microalgae, and when the CO2 is sequestered by this microalgae becomes a catalyst for this CO2, and with that CO2 they are able to come up with the production of methanol. So this is how, but this algae normally its main feedstock is plastics. So in the entire marine system, plastic is everywhere. Once upon a time we used to say water, water everywhere, nor a drop to drink. But now plastic is everywhere. Plastic is available on the land, plastic is available in the marine system, plastic is available in human blood system, plastic is available in our brain also. It has reached up to brain cells. This is what the recent studies they show. So it's an alarming situation. Therefore, plastic, we have to handle it very, very carefully. So this algae, this is capable of ensuring its life by eating the plastic. So by eating the plastic, it is coming up with the CO2, and that CO2 is helpful to make it as methanol. So this is again very new thing from NAYUDAMMA. The last one is again very interesting, construction and demolition waste recycling. As all of you know, our neighbor laboratory, SCRC, is one particular laboratory, and the other one is CSIR-CLRI. So normally we used to say, CSIR is not only helping the community to come up with new constructions, we are helpful to ensure even safe demolition. Noida Twin Tower, the demolition, safe demolition was done only by CSIR. Therefore, we do construct, we do also demolish, but we ensure safe demolition. So this construction and the demolition waste also, they are now coming up with a number of technologies to make it as construction material. And one very interesting material to me is CSIR-CLRI that I will talk in the upcoming slide. These days they are coming up with a new process. Can we use CO2? Can we purge CO2 into concrete by means of which the concrete will get porosity, the concrete will become lightweight, but at the same time you will get more strength also because it is getting purged by CO2. Where will you get CO2? It is the waste CO2. So this is another way of ensuring carbon neutrality even in the construction sector. This is the recent ideas that ACRC and especially CBRI is doing in this one. Medical waste recycling, I need not say, I think most of you may be aware, it is very, 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 very popular now. I would say from this particular Waste to Wealth mission, this is a game changer. Why it is a game changer? So in India, number of hospitals are there. Hospital waste, medical waste is also so huge. Every inpatient, I was told, I do not know, I was told, every inpatient has to pay some amount, I do not know, 2 rupees or 5 rupees or 7 rupees per bed, depending upon the quality of the hospital. They have to pay per bed per day 5 rupees to 7 rupees, 2 rupees to 10 rupees, up to 10 rupees it vary, only to do this medical waste disposal. It's a very, very costly affair, and therefore what are the medical different apparatus, whether it is a syringe or a needle or a gauze or a cotton or a tissue or whatever is being utilized, during the time of treatment, everything has to be definitely recycled, and for which the country is spending more. And now we are coming up with one kind of technology which is again NIST Thiruvananthapuram's technology. So the idea is very, very beautiful. They have identified one particular chemical. So that chemical has to be added. All the medical waste could be put into a reactor. They have designed the reactor also. So I just told them the reactor should be designed in the form of a capsicum. So the shape of the equipment is capsicum and it is green in color. So you put all the waste, whatever it may be. So I have cotton, blood, whatever, syringe, everything could be put inside. And you have to add this chemical. To just process 50 kg of medical waste, you have to wait for only 20 minutes. So 50 kg of your medical waste in 20 minutes is getting converted into a soil. A bio-soil manure. It is converted into a eco-friendly, soil-friendly manure, and they have used it and they demonstrated the growth rate is also increasing. So you put any waste, there is no definition. Any waste could be put, medical waste, and that could be converted into the soil additive. So this technology now AIMS, they have agreed upon. So already it has been transferred to one BioVastu, one company from Kerala, but AIMS has agreed. Now AIMS asked for 100 kg reactor. So we are going to install two number of 100 kg reactors in AIMS, Delhi. Maybe in another 1 week or so, we will be able to do that. So this is again a game changer. So this one will help not only to India, this is what I said. The moment this technology was transferred to BioVastu, and some news also appeared. Actually, we got queries from minimum 4 different countries. I think we will be able to transfer this technology to a minimum of 2 to 3 countries in another 2 or 3 months. So that is the acceptance, global acceptance for this particular technology. And anyway, we wanted first India to get the complete trust on this technology if it is certified by AIMS New Delhi, and the director Dr. Srinivas has readily agreed, and we will be just coming up with the installations soon. And industrial waste, of course, this is again huge success to our waste to wealth. One is the steel slag to steel slag road. India is the 3rd largest producer of steel. Steel industries are more in the country. Every steel industry is producing one waste product which is called steel slag. The steel slag is so huge in every steel industry in such a manner, they were not able to do how to address this steel slag waste at all. So this was a problem for the steel industry people till year before last year. But it is our institute, CSIR-CLRI, Road Research Institute from Delhi. Now they converted the steel slag, and this is now replacing the natural aggregate for its requirement for the road making. And now in India, minimum 4 or 5 national highway roads have been laid by the steel slag road technology. Now again, this steel slag road technology has given global visibility, popularity and acceptance to CSIR. Now US Maritime, they wrote a letter. Then a person from Chicago, he flew from the United States and he came to Delhi. He visited the institute, he attended the conference, he gave his concurrence on this part. Then from the United States Department of Energy DOE team, when they visited India, officially when they visited India, the Honorable Prime Minister and our Minister, that time also we made a presentation to the team of DOE. They got completely impressed by the steel slag technology. Then again the Satish Pandey, the PI of this particular technology, he went to the United States and now all the agreements are signed. The US Maritime is going to have CSIR developed steel slag technology, road technology. That road is going to be made by our technology. So this is again a global recognition that we got. Second one is red mud to X-ray shielding. This is again a beautiful technology. Red mud is from the aluminum industry. So in India, we have a lot of aluminum industry. So the waste is red mud. So people were not able to do what to go do with the red mud waste. Now AMPRI has taken up this red mud waste and they have made it as a X-ray shielding tile. So where and all they have done, at least in a minimum of 3 or 4 hospitals already, this X-ray shielding tiles have been used for construction. And recently I had one Parliament Standing Committee. So the Parliament Standing Committee chairman as well as one of the members, they said that when you are doing it in other hospital, why should you not do it in the Parliament campus itself? So we have agreed upon. So again, CSIR's red mud driven X-ray shielding technology is going to be implemented inside the Parliament also. So that is again a very, very important technology. Now the lab, starting from X-ray, now they are going to even gamma ray. Gamma ray is also, these tiles are able to shield, and their next target is they are going to make it as neutron shielding tiles. So that is their future. So now this X-ray is past, gamma is present, and neutron is their future. So if they are able to come up with even neutron shielding tiles, I think we can have our global impact. So they have taken only, they have asked for only 1 year. Maybe next year by this time we may be able to call this as a globally impact making technology. And the next one is textile industry waste to fiber reinforced concrete, SAR-CLRI's technology. So they just take the textile industry's waste and they just mix it with the concrete and they come up with a kind of a fencing wall. This technology has been transferred to L&T. So L&T has created and they have already constructed this kind of a wall using this technology in a minimum of 2 or 3 places, and this is again a very popular technology. And the last one is ship and port waste. I think most of us, we never think that what's happening in the sea. So when a ship is reaching the shore, I think the kind of waste that the ship carries in the form of solid waste, liquid waste, semi-solid waste, gaseous waste, it is unassuming. I just saw the statistics and I was I really got a great shock. I had some imagination, but it was totally beyond my imagination. So the kind of requirement that Indian marine system, or I would say the ports as well as the shipping area, definitely CSIR should now interfere, and now we are coming up with a kind of one mission on port and ship management, mainly the waste to wealth management. We are talking to already MOEFCC also. They have also agreed upon that they will give us the required support. And therefore soon in 2025, April, we will be launching this new mission of port and ship management for its waste to wealth. So this is our upcoming activity. Last one is C2C circular is nothing but from one chemical, how can you rejuvenate or refurbish, and you can make it as the same chemical or as another chemical, that is called C2C circular economy. We have a minimum of 2 important success stories which are recently got proven. So one is NCL, I am talking about C2C. So this is one chemical to another chemical, this is circular economy. So zeolite, all of us we know. So the zeolite, once upon a time, they were not able to use the zeolites again and again. Therefore, at one point of time, especially during COVID time, actually NCL received this kind of a request. And then when they just shared the used zeolite, they were able to enrich the zeolite in such a manner that it really helps the pilots, meaning is the oxygen enrichment is the duty of the newly rejuvenated zeolite, by means of which this technology has been hugely, hugely appreciated by the Navy and Army. So especially Indian Navy, they have given a huge letter of appreciation, and also Army also has appreciated our efforts, and NCL's technology soon, I think it will be made popular within these 2 systems of Navy and Army. So here the efficiency is lowered, it was lowered to 30% upon use, and NCL has rejuvenated to 85%. So the second one is ammonium perchlorate waste. This is again C2C, this is circular economy, very interesting story. ISRO is sending every time the satellite, and whenever they are sending the satellite, the fuel is ammonium perchlorate. So this ammonium perchlorate, many a times after usage, they also had tonnage of ammonium perchlorate, which the defense sector was not able to do how to go about. They were not able to address this kind of storage of ammonium perchlorate as a waste material. They used to dump it in the yard, and they were not able to do what to do. You will be amazed to know there is one biology lab called IMTech Chandigarh. They have taken up this particular challenge, and they have come up with a kind of a microbial consortia. So this microbial consortia, this is able to make this ammonium perchlorate into ammonia and HCl. So now their problem is totally solved because ammonia is very much required for the country. Now country requires only 2-3 things. Next to water and air, country requires only hydrogen and ammonia. So now this ammonium perchlorate, if this microbial consortia is able to convert all the used ammonium perchlorate into ammonia and HCl, what else is required? The major problem is solved. So they have taken 2 years. And at the end of 1.5 year, DRDO was totally frustrated. They said this is a failure project. They were not at all having any hope. But our IMTech friends, definitely I should appreciate the IMTech team and the director. They did not give up their confidence, and they took it as a challenge. And within the next 6 months, they came up with a kind of a success story. And now it is a completely accepted technology, and country will be benefiting out of it. So this is what I said. This is Bonapalli market, Hyderabad. So here, this is, if at all you ask me, the TRL is 9 and the plant capacity, if at all you want to have a plant of 250 kg, then also they will help you. And if you want a big plant of 10 ton per day, then also they will be able to handhold you with this kind of a technology. And throughout the country, we have around more than 30 different places we have this kind of technology adoption using the CSIR-ICT, CSIR, AGR technology. So this is what is the place at which the waste is getting this one. So this is how they have the storage. This is a biogas plant. So if you just go and see in Bonapalli market, there are 4 big balloons. So once the biogas is getting generated, it is getting stored in 4 big balloons, and then they start the supply through the pipeline from the balloons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, they empty the balloons and they just fill it up also accordingly from time to time. So this also was many times, it was appreciated by the Honorable Prime Minister in his Man Ki Baat. So this is a very proven technology, and this is their recent technology. Now the same group, after they just showed this kind of a confidence and a success with respect to AGR and the vegetable, now actually one company approached them where they said, because everybody is having our backyard, we have number of trees, and all our backyards will have the dry leaves. So all the dry leaves, how to address it in a very, very efficient manner. So this dry leaves into soil conditioner, this is a new technology. Now CSIR-ICT officials, they are working with 3 to 4 different private companies, and everybody, they have already shown their interest, and somebody has already paid the fee also. So that is the kind of a success of this particular technology, and this is very much similar to that of the vegetable thing. This is what I said. This is AIMS director, this is NIST director. So anything, any biomedical waste, so disinfection, solidification, and soil additive, this is what I told as the reactor. So this is a very great technology. Now this technology, minimum 2 to 3 countries, we will be able to just expand it maybe in another 2 to 3 months. This is a used cooked oil to SAF, I told you. So we started our thing, actually SpiceJet. They used in the year 2018 itself. So first test flight was done using in SpiceJet only. So in 2019, we had this AN32 flying, where also we used only the sustainable aviation fuel. Then again, this AN32 high altitude landing at Leh was also checked. Because when you use it as a sustainable aviation fuel, there are 2 things. Number one, whether it will act as a fuel, whether it will act as a fuel at a high altitude also, because the temperature is different. The ecosystem is different, the environment is different. Therefore, will it work at that particular temperature also? So it was tested at Leh also. So there also it is working. Whether it will be used for the commuting purpose, domestic purpose also, that also then also it is working. So this year, actually they have come up with few more additional specifications. So those specifications, again I should appreciate Dr. Harinder, the director of IIP, who has a lot of industry experience. He has taken up this challenge, and he was able to address it within the shortest possible time. And he really met out the specifications given, and finally it got approved, because getting approval to get the Republic Day time, fly past and all is a difficult task, because Republic Day events and all is completely, I would say minute to minute or second by second, very professionally it should have been planned and it should be conducted also. because it is an image of the country in the global arena, and therefore any fault or any mistake cannot be admitted, even thought of. Therefore, the requirements are very stringent, but we were able to meet out those specifications. That is the success of that particular technology. And this is again waste plastic. This is what I told you. GAIL has already given their interest, and this is a 1 ton per day pilot plant. So plastic is getting converted into diesel. This is where I told you the reproducibility, as well as I told you the efficiency and the yield. Now they are able to come up with the series thing. It is regulated. Apart from that, if you just take 1 kilogram of plastic waste containing PE and PP, polyethylene and polypropylene, you can get gasoline to the tune of 700 ml plus LPG. You can get diesel and 800 ml of diesel plus LPG. And also, if at all you want only petrochemicals, this is another option wherein you can come up with benzene, toluene and xylene. Along with that, LPG will also be there. Let's assume you want only benzene. Then also, by using selectivity, here you can come up with the benzene, toluene, xylene. In that case, you can take only benzene. So here, I don't want to say the name because the company we are in talking terms with a very big company. I'm hopeful that that big company will soon take up this particular technology. So I think in another few months, this technology will also reach. So this is again the recent development of NIST Thiruvananthapuram. So there it is something like plastic waste, including, they're talking about the microplastic. So to what extent it could be converted in another form? They're making it as a pellet. So it's a combination of coir because it is from Kerala. So I always tell they should also stay relevant to the region from which they are. Therefore, they have to do some amount of rubber-based research. So last week I was there in rubber board, and now we are coming up with a new relationship with rubber board also. So rubber board has also shown interest. So along with our interest to work with rubber board, and coir board also they have to work with. So now they are making it along with the combination of coir, biodegradable polymer and plasticizer. This could be used for different applications. So this is what now many labs, I would say almost all labs, be it the director or the researchers, whatever is being just placed before them as a requirement or a challenge, always you come up and you always live up to the expectation. That is the beauty of CSIR. I would say whether such kind of an appreciation or acknowledgement or encouragement or support or motivation or the team spirit or the cooperation will be there in other organization or not, I have no idea. But CSIR is so beautifully always demonstrating this kind of escalating to the requirements. So I just told to that institute, you should stay relevant to the area from which you are. So you should stay relevant to Kerala. So what is it that you are working in coir? What is it that you are working in coconut? They have come up with one coconut industry waste driven technology also, wherein our Arul Malarji is also, I think, involved. I think so. So they are coming up with very many beautiful technologies which are very much relevant to Kerala, and this is how all of you should make use of your available resources, the area in which, and the industries who are approaching. You should always stay relevant to their requirements. And this is a plastic conversion. This is what I told about this NIO. So though all these things are happening in the marine environment, so this is a bioreactor, novel bioreactor, because they have to prove it as a proof of concept. So they have designed this bioreactor, and it is already patented also. I think in the Blue Economy mission. So there is a mission that is going on in MOES. So it's a deep ocean mission, Blue Economy mission. Under that mission, this will find a huge importance. What happened? So did you put any restriction to Kalaiselvi only up to some slides? Okay, no, in a simple way. So this is agro waste, this is a parali waste which I told you. So those who have visited CSIR headquarters, one conference room, tiles also just we made out of this one. That was from bamboo. This particular laboratory, that is Ampri, they are coming up with a lot of construction material, not only from parali, but also from bamboo. Why bamboo? Because wood is always used in the construction, and it is a very important material to be used for construction. Teak wood, Burma wood, this, that, all wood you can talk about. But to take that kind of a wood as a construction material, you have to cut trees and you have to get permission also. But bamboo comes under the grass category. It falls in the family of grass. Therefore, to cut bamboos, you need not take any permission. And therefore, now bamboo is becoming popular as an alternative construction material. And apart from that, this particular laboratory has converted this parali waste into these boards. And Bhutan Tuff is one particular industry, and other industries also have taken, these many industries have taken this particular technology. So whenever you come to CSIR, you just don't forget to visit that conference room. So there you can see the Ampere technology, and we are putting and we are pushing the tables, chairs, we are dragging, but it is very, very stable. It is very stable, and therefore the technology is proving its strength every now and then. I think I need your help. Okay. So, okay, no problem, no problem. No, previous one. Next. This is a bamboo tile. I saw some seaweed also. Okay, this is what the bamboo tile. So this is our conference room, CSIR conference room. So they are now making even interlocking tiles from bamboo. Meaning is, somebody was talking about, we have to stay relevant to the fashion as well as the trends, because every time these days you need to be very trendy. Otherwise people will not accept you. Therefore now they are coming up with even interlocking tiles from bamboo. So next slide. Seaweed. This is again a very beautiful success story. If you just travel to Ramanathapuram, Rameshwaram, there is a Pamban Bridge. Just before Pamban Bridge, we have the Gulf of Mannar, where a lot of seaweed cultivation is going on. So we have one laboratory called CSIR-CLRI from Gujarat Bhavnagar. From Gujarat Bhavnagar, luckily they have one extension center in Mandapam, where in Sikri, Karakudi and CSIR-CLRI Bhavnagar, both of us, we are sharing our place, our R&D teams in this Mandapam. So there in the Gulf of Mannar, all the fisherwomen are getting employment with this seaweed cultivation. Because fishermen will go for fishing. So fisherwomen will be ideally sitting at home. Either they can watch the TV or simply they'll be wasting their time. They will not be finding anything so great in that particular place, because it is not a very fertile land also. And therefore we thought that those fisherwomen could be given this kind of an opportunity, and now they are also earning. What they have to do is the raft also we are giving, seaweed also we are giving. So in that raft they have to tie the seaweeds, and they are just going up to this particular depth, and they are just leaving the raft in that sea, in the Gulf of Mannar sea water. After 21 days, they just go and collect. By the time the seaweed is grown, completely grown, when they just bring it back to the shore, there will be an NGO who will be waiting with a van, and they have to give it, and on the spot cash is given. And this is going to the market, and in the market it is getting converted into 4 different products: powder, liquid, gel, and also briquettes. So each product is finding its own application. There is one Manamadurai based company called Aqua Arena. So he has become a crorepati. He himself has told, because with his permission I am telling this particular fact, he himself has given royalty in lakhs. Royalty in lakhs he has given in 1 year. Therefore, he said that, ma'am, I am a crorepati just because of your seaweed technology. It is his statement. So seaweed technology today is a huge technology. You can ask me how the ladies will identify their raft. These ladies are always, because being female, all of you can really lift your collar up and you can say, we will have our own way of showing our smartness. What they do is, in the raft, each lady will put one color paint, green paint. All green painted rafts will be mine, all red ones will be others, or blue will be like, so they will just, I will take the green dot raft and I will come back. So all the properties are mine. All blues are somebody's property. All reds are somebody's property. So this is how these fisherwomen, they identify the raft, because some rafts the growth will be more and in some rafts the growth will be less, but they go with this kind of an identity and they run their life. So this is vegan leather-like material. I think in CLRI I need not talk about this particular thing, but one thing is not only CLRI but also NIST is also working in this area. So you take anything and everything, meaning is a plant waste or a fruit waste, you take and you just make it as a leather-like material. Technology is good, but today we had a very, very interesting and a mind-blowing discussion with the industry persons. Even though the technology is accepted now, how to make this technology more meaningful, more sustainable, and more economical, and more relevant to India. So to what extent this technology could be fully indigenized? I told no, CSIR is helping starting from building as well as safe demolition, end to end. Therefore, this technology, end to end, who can really take care of the requirements? It is this particular laboratory. You should take the complete responsibility of meeting out the requirements from end to end. Can you move the next slide? This is offered flowers. I told you next to aroma mission, the popular mission is floriculture mission. So NBRI and CIMAP from Lucknow laboratories, they are coming up with a number of flowers. So they are talking about even golden revolution, marigold revolution in IHBT Palampur. So IHBT Palampur is so popular for this marigold. So they are coming up with the cultivation, essential oil extraction, and phytopharma also. IIIM Jammu is coming up with a very great success story with respect to a phytopharma. So from the plant, they have derived 3 different molecules. And recently we took the help of ICMR, again thanks to DG ICMR. He has given 10 crore to CSIR just to do clinical trials for 4 or 5 of our molecules, of which 3 molecules are going from IIIM Jammu. And of the 3 molecules, 2 molecules are expected to show lot of encouraging results. I think maybe in another 2 years or 3 years, this phytopharma driven, I would say tablet or medicine will be very popular in the market, wherein IIIM Jammu's contribution will be always remembered by CSIR. So now coming to the flowers, as I told you, different flowers are also getting cultivated in the country. I do not know how many of you are aware of the tulip fashion in Delhi, because winter means always everywhere it will be full of tulip. And I myself, last year I have given a promise to the Delhi government that this year, whatever tulip that you see in Delhi, it is going to be CSIR's tulip. So I have given a promise, and my team, meaning is our CSIR team, is telling, ma'am, no worries. We are living up to your expectation. This year, complete tulip supply in Delhi will be taken care by CSIR. So our people know, whenever I give some kind of a promise by believing that you people will do, never CSIR disappoints. That is the beauty of CSIR. So this year, Delhi tulips are going to be this one, and even during the Ayodhya, this Ram Mandir temple time also, people were really hunting for tulips. So at that time, we from CSIR, we called them and we said that we can supply them tulip, and they said that how is it possible? Because it was the month of February, I believe. So how tulip is possible in that particular February or June? They said this is a very odd time, how will you find tulip? But IHBT, they sent one full van, first batch of tulip, it went to only Ayodhya Ram Mandir. And people, they were forced to believe that yes, tulip could be cultivated in the country all 365 days. Earlier it was thought that it's a seasonal flower, but CSIR made it as all-terrain. Now we are slowly making it as all-terrain. We are making it as climate resilient. We are making it also to be available 365 days, meaning is across the year, all days throughout the year. So this offered flowers, whichever flower is offered, now we have identified at least 3 different temples. One is Shirdi temple, the other one is Kashi Vishwanath temple, the third one is Puri Jagannath temple. So these are the temples wherein lots and lots of flowers, tonnage of flowers are getting offered to God. And after that, what happens? Where the flowers are going? So we collect all the flowers, and from the flowers we are coming up with incense sticks, and we are coming up with the different fragrance as well as essential oils, and we are using only self-help groups. So self-help group women in Shirdi, Kashi and Puri, they are taking the offered flowers and they are making it into market saleable product. So this is again floral waste into holy ash, because these days, I think I should not say, prasad is also getting tested, and therefore everywhere we have some kind of an issue, whether this is pure, whether this is 100% pure, whether I can eat, whether I can use, whether it will not be harmful to my skin if at all I use it as a vibhut. So these days we have to, therefore, no, again thanks to all the challenges, people finally come to only scientists. They come and say, can you just tell me whether this will not be harmful to my stomach, whether this will not be harmful to my skin. Therefore, here this floral waste into holy ash is again NBRI and CIMAP's technology. Next slide. This is textile reinforced concrete, I told you, which is SCRC. So they have given it to L&T. This is where the last line is very important. Steel slag waste also now we have collected. This is again CBRI. They have taken the steel slag waste, they collected it from CRRI with the help of CRRI, and they purged CO2, and they are making it as a building block, and NTPC has already paved this slagcrete blocks in their area. There is one Netra complex. So in the Netra complex, the pavement is made by the slagcrete. So this is again a proven technology. Next slide. So this is again coconut industry, NIST. I told you should stay relevant to your place. So Kerala is famous for coconut. So this coconut industry effluent also, they are coming up with a kind of a treatment by means of which they are able to come up with the very many useful products. And I was told using this coconut industry waste, they are using it a portion in their vegan-like material also. So to that level, they stay relevant. Then fly ash-derived products, I think both SCRC and CBRI, both the civil engineering laboratories, they are doing marvelous R&D in this area. So fly ash is again a huge waste, and this fly ash is getting collected, and it is converted into different kinds of products like building blocks or slags or roads. So all these very useful products and pavements and roads are being made with the help of fly ash. Next slide. So this is your slide. So I got this slide from your laboratory. So I need not talk about this particular slide. This slide is your language. So you can just convert this animal hair waste into fertilizer. So thanks to CLRI again. So I should not come and give you the equivalence and the meanings and the technology details, because it is a borrowed knowledge from you, and therefore thanks to you for this particular slide. But this should really take its greater heights in the coming times. So how best this could be popularized, because fertilizer is a great, I would say, buzzword these days. We are talking about different kinds of fertilizers, though people from the United States and others, they are thinking about, instead of using fertilizers in the form of a solid, they want to just make spray fertilizers, especially in the form of ammonia. So when you just make green hydrogen, can you make green ammonia also? And can you just spray the ammonia by means of which it becomes green ammonia, and therefore you need not worry about the side effects. When people are thinking about all these things in one direction, I think till the time we can also make this technology to see its maturity, and also we can just equate it in one form or the other. The moment we prove that this is also equally good, though we cannot give it the name green, but I think as long as it is not giving any kind of a harmful effects to the environment and the ecosystem, this technology will also be appreciated and accepted and implemented in not only in our place, but in other countries also. We should take it to the next level. Next. So this is again chrome shavings to leather. So all important players are here. I think for the past I think before I came here, 1 hour we had discussions, and at that point of time also chrome shavings to leather, that also was discussed in depth. And I think as long as it is a close to heart research subject of your director and to the research teams, I need not worry about it. But what I would say is, leather, the definition itself is getting now redefined. So what is leather like, and can you just come up with some kind of a, it will not be looking correct if I say it's oxymoron. If I say green leather, it is oxymoron. So you cannot think about green leather, but at least eco-benign leather, or leather is an eco-benign material, leather is a eco-benign fashion material. So like that you have to start thinking. And I told even Dr. Sriram today 2 important things. I'll just make it as an open secret to all of you. If at all you want to hit the market, if you really want to make a lot of popularity and acceptance for your technology, can you just make this leather as a bridal component? I asked him, in some form or the other. Maybe in the form of a Kolhapuri chappal, or to match with the Kolhapuri chappal, or with a jacket, some attire. Can you just make it as a bridal component, bridal attire? Can you make it as a very important component of the bridal attire? Meaning is, if at all it is only Kolhapuri, it is a seasonal product and the seasonal manufacturing. But if you connect it with the bridal activity, throughout the year in India, bridal activities are going on. And these days we are spending a lot of money in two important things. One is food, second one is wedding. So if you are able to really crack this particular market, bridal market, you may be able to achieve a huge success. Second one I told him, backpack. Everybody, whether we have backbone or not, all of us are having backpacks these days. Therefore, all the backpacks, can you really come up with a kind of an innovation with your leather? If you are able to come up with a kind of an innovation by means of which leather becomes the fashionable material with a backpack, I think then you can really crack the market. So think about these two areas. One is the bridal, the second one is the backpack. So if you are able to consider leather to be reoriented, repurposed, redirected, refocused in these areas, I think you may be able to really see huge success. Next slide. This is organic wastewater treatment. So this is again NIST technology. Actually, even in this hotels, restaurants, and even industries also, the wastewater effluent treatment itself is becoming a big thing. So one is ACTP, the other one is CETP, the other one is organic waste. So here they are coming up with a success story with the wastewater treatment. Next slide. I think this is not working now. So pine needles, you can ask me why CSIR should. Actually, this is again society asked us. One honorable member of parliament, he said, in Uttarakhand, in the district of Uttarakhand, pine is a very, very popular tree, and therefore, can you use the pine needles? And because it is going as a waste, can you just give it some kind of a value addition? And therefore, pine needles based fuel technology and briquetting is also happening in IIP. Next slide. So this is red mud, I already told you, X-ray shielding. Now they are going towards gamma ray, their future is neutron shielding. Next slide. So this is metal values, I told you, NML, IMMT, and CSIR-CLRI. So one person is taking all the used batteries, he is crushing it, he is making it as a black metal, and the other person is doing all the leaching, and the third person is taking the leached metal and he is fabricating a new battery. We call it as B2B, battery to battery, used battery to a new battery. So B2B is another important project that is happening in CSIR. Next slide. So this is the steel slag, this is the last one. So the very important thing is this RejuPave technology. Steel slag road technology, I told you. RejuPave is a very important technology which is called rejuvenation of pavement. So in the road sector, damage to roads, what we normally do is we scrap the complete tar or whatever, the top layer, and we just put it out and we are laying another one. Sometimes we don't even remove it and we will be going on adding the road, and therefore the road height is more and the house and all the constructions, they are at the low laying area. But now what we have suggested is you just remove the top layer, the damaged road portion, you just ball mill it, you make it as a powder, then there is a big binder, bio binder we are coming up with. It is a technology of again CRRI. IIP is also working with them. So IIP and CRRI, they work together and they have come up with a kind of a binder. With that kind of a binder, this ball milled powder could be made and as a slurry, and then you can pave the road. Meaning is 60% of the already used material can find its revaluation. So your dependence on a fresh natural aggregate is getting reduced to the tune of 60%. So you can ask me, so what is the temperature at which this RejuPave technology will work? Any temperature. -8, -10, -15, -20. We checked at all different temperatures near Arunachal Pradesh, everywhere near China border, everywhere this technology is working. Steel slag road is also there near China border, and RejuPave technology is also working. Now BRO has written a huge letter of appreciation because they were adopting different technologies, but the roads were not having adherence. Adherence was the problem. But this technology, why this video is shown is now it is snowing. So during the time of snowfall, they were laying the technology, they were laying the road, and the roads are intact and their adherence is also appreciable. So this is where BRO is totally satisfied with the technology. Next slide, I think it's a thank you slide. Yes. So this is the second reason due to which I have taken this particular title for this Y. NAYUDAMMA Memorial Lecture. So far I was handling this waste to wealth related technology for its popularization. I was talking to all ministries, industries, everywhere I was doing. Then I thought that why only Kalaiselvi should do it all the time? Now it has seen its growth, so now this is high time I should hand it over to some eminent personalities. So then Sriram's name came into my mind. Then I thought that this laboratory is a good laboratory, and Sriram, he has already executed his capabilities and demonstrated his capabilities as two mission directors, two team directors. Once he was the team director of chemicals, once he was the team director of energy, now he is the team director of chemicals. Therefore, I thought that with the kind of knowledge, expertise, and the experience that Sriram has, so Sriram should be given this opportunity. Therefore, from today, I'm just handing over the responsibility of managing waste to wealth driven all technology leads for their popularization, for their market reach, for their global acceptance, for their global implementation, and for their branding. Everything should be taken care of by Dr. Sriram, the director of CLRI. That is why I have chosen this particular. So Kalaiselvi was talking for more than 1 hour. Therefore, now the director will have no hesitation. Even otherwise, he will never show hesitation. At least you people will think that, okay, some meaningful, very worthy, very deserving mission is only given to CLRI. So please take it a new value and a new face value and a new market value by means of which CSIR should be able to feel proud. So lastly, so Sriram is on the top. So at the bottom, there is one very important superstar. So every year, CSIR is getting included in the KBC, Kaun Baneka Crorepati. In the year 22, they asked who is the first women DG of CSIR, and that was the question. And last year, they asked what is a 108 petal lotus, and which was developed by which lab? It is again NBRI. The name of the lotus is Namo 108. They asked what is this flower? It is the lotus. They also won. The lady, she gave the answer last year, Kaun Baneka Crorepati. This year, Kaun Baneka Crorepati. This is the question. India's largest climate clock is installed in Anusandhan Bhavan, the headquarters of which organization? So this year, the lady was not able to give the answer. She said DRDO, ISRO, this, that she was not able to give the answer. But we are happy that CSIR is getting considered. Almost, this is the third consequent year that Kaun Baneka Crorepati is considering CSIR. So very thoughtfully, scientist is on the top, and the cinematic thing is at the bottom, but the connecting point is it's a climate clock. So we are now living with two clocks. One is the clock that talks about only the time. Second one is the clock that really gives us an alert that, hey, human beings, you are left with these many days, these many months, and these many weeks, and these many minutes, and these many seconds within which you have to arrive at carbon neutrality. Otherwise, you will become OMG. Oh my God. Therefore, climate clock is very, very important, and therefore, let us try to take care of our activities both with respect to the time clock and the climate clock. Thank you so very much. So should I have 1 or 2 quick questions? Not needed? Not needed. Okay, thank you then, thank you. Okay, memorial lectures, no Q&A. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for showing the remarkable journey on CSIR's pioneering efforts, highlighting the transformative power of science to create an eco-friendly future and, to pursue, inspiring us to pursue new frontiers in sustainability. May I request our director, Dr. K.J. Sriram, to read out the citation in honor of today's memorial lecture, please.
Friends, the Y NAYUDAMMA lecture is organized by the stakeholders of the leather industry in association with a trust which was formed to hold LYRIG every year, called as a LYRIG Trust. So this citation is given on behalf of the LYRIG Trust. So it reads, the Y NAYUDAMMA Lecture 2024, whereas CSIR Central Leather Research Institute has established the Y NAYUDAMMA Lecture as a special lecture during LYRIG Conclave, and whereas Dr. N. Kalaiselvi, Director General CSIR and Secretary DSIR, has acquired respect and admiration as a scholar in the area of sustainable energy resources, and her contribution, including designing indigenous lithium batteries and developing hydrogen storage materials and fuel cells. Whereas she has delivered the Y NAYUDAMMA Lecture 2024 in a manner befitting the values and contributions of Professor Y. NAYUDAMMA, and wherefore the Indian leather sector wishes to express its sincere appreciation for her valuable and stimulating contribution in nation building. So on behalf of the sector, may I present this citation to Dr. Kalaiselvi.
I request sir to present a memento to Madam, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam, for your time and for being with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we conclude this session. Thank you so much for joining us. And we request the audience to join for the upcoming panel discussion on advancements in machinery for indigenization as part of the LEDIC conclave. Thank you so much.